Alright, yo, what's up guys? It's me, Shadow, back again with another tutorial video. This week, we're going to be going over how to make GLO type beats for CHEROMANI, more specifically influenced by his recent song Hugo that dropped on his mini EP that he just released. It's produced by Vanexi and J Dalla. So yeah, shout out to both of them. I'm going to leave their Instagrams up on the screen. Go follow them, go check them out. But yeah, I'm kind of on a time crunch here, so I don't want to make the intro too long. Yeah, let's just hop right into the video, guys. Also, before I say anything, this beat might not be perfect. I don't make GLO. This is probably my first or second time ever making it. So yeah, there you go. Anyways, these are the drums that we're going to be using for this beat. A lot of these sounds are from my Valentine's plug-and-B drum kit. Even though it's a plug-and-B drum kit, obviously those sort of drums will work for GLO as well. I don't specifically have a drum kit for this sort of genre. Some recommendations, like I said, my Valentine's plug kit. The 808 I'm using is from Glumboy's first drum kit, so I definitely recommend you guys check that drum kit out too, or any of his other drum kits. They're really good. And this free plug-and-B Reddit drum kit is also good. I know I'm not recommending GLO drum kits, but that's because I literally don't have any. So, yeah. For presets, guys, we're primarily going to be using Expand 2. I'm using Serum just for one lead. Expand 2 is primarily what you're going to want to be using for these beats. The first preset I'm using is the Natural Section Brass preset. It sounds kind of stupid when I play it with that chord, but yeah, you get it. It's just a brass preset. Then we have the Violin Octa Strings. And then lastly, we have whatever this is, Bright T-Bone Brass. Bright Trombone and Brass. And then coming over to Serum, guys, this is just a preset that I made myself. It's going to be in a future bank that I release, hopefully within the next month or so. But basically, it's just a sine lead that sounds like this. I'm basically just modulating the pitch of a sine lead, and that's really it. Some distortion, yeah. So yeah, guys, those are all the presets out of the way. Now we're gonna hop into how I actually made this beat, starting off with the melodies. So guys, the first thing I laid out is this super simple trumpet pattern. As you can see, I'm not even using chords. I'm just using a note and spreading them out in a couple octaves, and it's gonna sound like this. Basically just a super simple 3-note melody. You kind of sounds like you're scoring the new Batman movie, if I'm going to be honest. Just some dark, simple, whatever this is, not even a chord technically, but yeah, that's the first thing that we're laying out for this beat. I'm also EQing all the low end out because it's playing in a pretty low octave. I'm making it stereo, and we're throwing a destructor with the Bit Crusher preset. That basically just adds some bit crush, obviously. So yeah, that's pattern number 1. Pattern number 2 is pretty similar to what we had before, except it's in a higher octave with a different trumpet preset, and we're playing these extra notes right here, and we're adding some stutters. It's gonna sound like this. Yeah, I think this pattern is pretty cool. Like I said, it's basically just the F sharp, D, C sharp that we laid out before, except we add this little F sharp, E, F sharp pattern right here, this up and down thing. And as you can see, I basically take the D chord that we've created here, and I chop it up a little bit here for the stutter. And that's it, I guess. Yeah, so those are the main 2 patterns in the beat. The rest is just adding leads and little minor sounds in the background, but primarily you want really big trumpets in your beats. Then guys, we're gonna add this violin sound. Basically, I just took the notes that we were already using in our progression, the F sharp, the D, the C sharp, except I raised it up an octave. And instead of doing what we did before, where we were spreading the notes out between octaves, like it would be an F sharp 7 and an F sharp 6, I'm doing 5th chords, where basically the notes are 5 semitones, where the notes are 5 semitones apart, I believe, or put simpler, there's a little gap of 4 squares in between the notes, and that creates sort of some tension and makes it sound cool. Then guys, we're gonna throw this wobbly lead on top, and it's gonna sound like this. Essentially, it is very similar to the last patterns that we were creating, where the primary notes are F sharp, D, and C sharp. Those are actually the only notes. We just spread them out in some octaves again, like as you can see. In the last little bit of the pattern, I basically split the C sharp 6 and lower it down an octave to a C sharp 5. Creates this sort of like nice drop effect. And then in between the F sharp 6 and the D, I basically add a C sharp 7 and a D7. Typically the pattern goes from D to C, so instead I'm going from C to D in a higher octave just to add some like, change, something different in the pattern. And yeah, that is that. Right here, guys, this is the last pattern. It is a piano lead sort of thing, and I feel like I could have picked a better preset, but other than that, this is what the pattern sounds like. So basically what I did here is used, again, notes that we already have. There's no new notes or anything like that. We're just bringing that E note back that we used earlier in the like higher octave trumpet melody. And we're doing like an F to F here, one octave to a higher octave, just like an easy way to do things if you don't understand music theory like me. And then we're doing this cool like transcending downward progressing thing where basically we're using every note that we've used already, the F sharp, E, D, C sharp, and we are basically making it play pretty quickly. And then we're pasting it over, lowering it down an octave, and it does this effect. Then we're just adding some variations and stuff like that. We have a little chop here. And then in the second half, we're purposely switching it up. We're not doing this little thing that we did in the beginning here. We're just making it simpler. Still using similar notes, but not as complex. And then at the end half, instead of playing a C sharp 6, we are playing a C sharp 8. And yeah, altogether, guys, this is what the melody that we made is going to sound like. Okay, my computer had to give me a Java update right as I was playing the melody. Anyways, you guys get it. Java, whatever, go away. Yeah, there you go. That's the melody. Now that we have that out of the way, we're going to move on to the drums. Starting off, guys, we're going to lay the snare pattern out. That's going to sound like this. Basically, it's just a typical clap slash snare pattern, and we're throwing in this extra note right here for some bounce, like the usual. Throw some snare notes in between your claps or snares, and then at the very end here, we're doing this little roll. Yeah, that's pretty much it there. Then, guys, we have the hi-hats, which are also pretty simple. These notes are down here, too. Don't forget them. Don't forget them. But anyways, this is what our pattern is going to sound like. Yeah, nothing too crazy here. We have some little rolls throughout the pattern, but it's primarily a two-step. Always a two-step with some rolls, man. I'm telling you. Every hi-hat pattern can be brought down to a simple two-step with rolls. Yeah, and then there's this little like high-pitched short roll here, and then we're doing like these lower-pitched rolls that you don't even hear like a lot, and that's not exclusive to GLO or anything. I just felt like doing it, so I did. So yeah, like really simple on the hi-hat and claps and stuff like that. Then we have some perks, guys. All together, they're going to sound like this. Here, I'll give you a little run through. As you can see, this is the open hat pattern, where instead of playing on the 1, it's just like kind of offset a little bit like that. We have that typical Zay chant, and we threw some reverb on it because I wanted to put some reverb on it, and it basically just plays like on the 1 primarily, and then right before the 1 to add some bounce. Some simple stuff right there. Then I just added this little like zap perk randomly throughout the beat. And then the drill perk purposely only plays in like the second half. Okay, go away, stop. It basically only plays in the second half, where the first half is just like empty because, I didn't want it to be too repetitive in the beat. And then, guys, we have the 808 pattern, which is going to sound like this. I'm obviously not a GLO master like Vinexi and Jay Dalla, so I'm not, super well versed in this genre. But essentially what you want to do is just pick sub 808s. Like I said, I got this from the Glumboy kit. You can get some sub 808s in my kits as well, or like I said, free kits have a lot of sub 808s too now because they're super in. But essentially we're just following the notes that we've been following in that sort of like F sharp D to C pattern, and you know, we're just adding some bounce, making them play multiple times. I'm doing some things for extra bounce, like adding notes in higher octaves, and then as you can see, I basically take the pattern that we have here in the second half and I paste it up an octave, and for the C sharp part I make it play in a high octave and then drop to a low octave. I make it hit a little bit less. It hits a little bit less in general in the higher octave, and other than that, I guess that's it. Wait, I almost forgot. This is very key to your beats. I don't know how I forgot this. The classic GLO chop snare sounds like this. Basically, to make these, you just want to go up here to this magnet, go to third step, and as you can see, you just kind of do this, and you know, you start on a high note, go to a low note. I'm explaining this super well right now, as you can see. Kind of just use your ear. I didn't use any specific notes for this. So yeah, guys, those are all the drums and melodies out of the way. Now we're gonna go over the structuring and then wrap this video up. So for structuring, the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna do like a typical GLO intro like this. Yeah, I don't know specifically why this is like a GLO thing, but it is, and it sounds pretty cool. It's like also happens in like dark plug beats and stuff like that. I really enjoy it, so you know, I just felt like doing that in this beat. That doesn't happen in the Hugo beat, but I don't care. Then guys, we have like a pretty typical hook verse. We don't even do like a bridge or anything crazy like that. So basically 16 bar hook, 16 bar verse, and then we have a second hook, second verse, and then essentially what would be the hook again is going to act as the outro, where we're going to EQ and automate volume and stuff like that. For the hook, it's basically all the sounds except for that like violin stab sound that's going to come in for the second half of the hook. Same thing with the perks. The perks are going to come in for the second half. The chop snare is going to play at the end of like every important part of the beat. So moving from hook to verse and moving from verse to hook, the chop snare is going to play. For the verse, we're going to take a lot of sounds out. So for the verse, we're not going to have the high-pitched trumpet. We're only going to have the low-pitched trumpet. We're going to take out the piano lead, and we're going to take out that stabby violin sound. Then for the second half, we're going to bring in the violin stab and the piano lead, but we're not going to bring in that main trumpet because we want that to be part of the hook only. From there, the beat just repeats. And like I said, guys, at the end here, we're going to automate the EQ and the volume to sound like this. From that point, basically, it's going to trail off because that is what you do with outros. And yeah, that's actually going to do it for this video, guys. I didn't really go over mixing too much in this video because there was hardly any. Like, I truly did not do a lot of mixing at all. If you have fire sounding presets, then it doesn't matter at all, you know. You should obviously do the basics, like taking low end out of your melody, you know, making sure that every sound fits into their own pocket. But for the most part, if you're picking good presets and drums and stuff like that, don't worry too much about the mixing. Just make sure the actual beat sounds good. So yeah, guys, that's going to do it for this video. If you watched this video all the way through the end, thank you so much. I really do appreciate you guys who watch my videos all the way through. If you guys like this video, leave a like. If you didn't, don't. Remember to hit the subscribe button. I post videos 2 times a week on Wednesday and Friday, covering underground and up-and-coming artists, challenge videos, entertainment content, and more. And yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a good day or night. Peace.